Vigilante shoots man dead for speaking to his girlfriend. Hello, welcome to Paper Review for the week on Noble TV Live with Lily Kevin. Our first paper for review is Monday the 5th of June 2023, and our first paper is the Guardian newspaper. On the screaming story on the Guardian paper, auto gas stalls as NNPC marketers bicker over 500 billion naira debt, prorated fuel cost. And the writer beneath says, darkness looms as electricity workers may shut down national grid. Other story on the Guardian paper, Nigerians' broadband penetration drops as telecos lose 2.5 million voice customers. 7 days into second term, Sanwo-Olu yet to make appointments. NLC boycotts meeting as FGTUC seek options out of Wednesday's strike. Yoruba Ronu urges Tinubu to prevent labor union strike. Why Tinubu has not appointed a spokesperson. Terrorists kill many in Zamfara communities, abduct 30 girls. And that's all on Guardian paper. Moving over to our next paper for review is the Nigerian Tribune for 5th Monday 2023. TUC makes demands. FG may set up committee to review minimum wage. Other stories on the Nigerian Tribune. Bandits kill 30 in Sokoto communities. Trapped phones. Nigeria tops most indebted countries globally. Adeleke dissolves 7th Assembly to inaugurate 8th Assembly. Tinubu opposition. Lawmakers meeting postponed. Indigene should be next Speaker of Lagos Assembly. And that's all on the Nigerian Tribune. Our next paper for review is Tuesday, the 6th of June, 2023. And our first paper is the Guardian newspaper. Labour undeterred by court order. TUC demands 200,000 naira minimum wage. Another story on the Guardian paper, how proposed NLC strike may affect presidential elections petition. Joe Jesus suspends strike for 21 days after parley with Tinubu. Nigerians' imports squeezed by cash scarcity falls by 25.8% year-on-year. Empty streets. Shut businesses greet Mbas seated home ban in Enugu. Universities and fledgling e-libraries. IMF tasked Nigeria on revenue generation and debt management. And that's all on the Guardian paper. Moving over to the next paper is the Tribune newspaper for 6th June 2023. NLC TUC suspends strike as tentative deal reached with FG. The rider beneath says to meet June 19 to agree on implementation framework. Other stories on the Nigerian Tribune. Court finds Keyamo 10 million naira for filing frivolous suit against Atiku. Tinubu will develop Nigeria, says Jimo Ibrahim. And on 10th NAS, court stops EFCC, ICPC, DSS from detaining ex-governor Yari. Alleged 190 million naira fraud, court discharges and acquits ex-HOS Oron Saye. NAS presiding officers, North Central insist on speaker slot. Wike Akpabio Umahi meet with Tinubu. Bandits kill 2 farmers, abduct 30 others in Kaduna State. And that's all on the Nigerian Tribune. Our next paper for review is Daily Independent for Wednesday, 7th June 2023. And the screaming story on Daily Independent, reps want officials involved in unveiling Nigeria heir prosecuted. The rider beneath says, One FG over cost of terminating 10 million e-passports contract. Other story on the Daily Independent. Senate rejects controversial National Water Resources Bill. Some former governors wined and dined with bandits. That story is credited to Governor Sani. Subsidy is organized crime. Jonathan was careful and empirical. INEC publishes final candidates list for Kogi, Imo, Bayelsa, Guba polls. Court awards 20 million naira cost against lawyers seeking to stop Tinubu's inauguration. Akpabio's Senate presidency bid hangs in the balance. And also, Senate okays Tinubu's request to appoint 20 special advisors. And that's all on Daily Independent. I'm moving over to the Punch newspaper for 7th June 2023. And our first paper for review is The Punch. The screaming story on The Punch newspaper on subsidy. Reps demand NNPCL audit over unaccounted 2 trillion naira assets. And the rider beneath says, some NNPCL subsidiaries bought crude oil without evidence of payment. Stories credited to lawmakers. Also, legislators, OPS, back refineries privatization, Uber, boat drivers begin nationwide strike. Other story on the Punch paper. House alleges fraud, ask Tinubu to suspend Nigerian Air. 51 jostle for Kogi, Bayelsa, Imo governor seat. Finally, Senate throws out Buhari's controversial water bill. Police investigate assassination of UI professor. Anti-inauguration lawyer fined 20 million naira faces NBA probe. And that's all on the Punch newspaper for Wednesday, 7th of June, 2023. Our next paper for review is Thursday, the 8th of June, 2023. And our first story for review is the Daily Sun. The head story on the Daily Sun, FG plans earn as you work pay policy. Rider beneath says, number of hours in office, quality of work will determine remuneration. Other story on the Daily Sun. Tinubu INEC opposed testimony by ad hoc staff. Governors back president on subsidy removal. Can president slams El-Rufai over comment on same faith ticket. It's an insult to say LP dictating for NLC. And that story is credited to Ajero. And that's all on Daily Sun. Our next paper for review is the Vanguard newspaper, Thursday, the 8th of June, 2023. And our screaming story. Unpaid gratuities, pensions, wages choke states. The rider beneath says 34 states owe backlog of gratuities. 27 states burdened by unpaid pensions. 13 states owe salaries. We're doing our best to clear them, says state governors. Other stories on the Vanguard paper. FG, Lagos join forces to drive tax compliance. And on Senate, I'm not bothered about rubber stamp tag. The story is credited to Lawan. It's not in Tinubu's interest to impose leadership on 10th NAS. And the story is credited to NEF. And on Islamization, El-Rufai seeking relevance. Ignore him. The story is credited to Khan. And that's all on the Vanguard paper for Thursday, the 8th of June, 2023. Moving over to Friday, the 9th of June, 2023. Our first paper for review is the Punch newspaper. And on the Punch newspaper, the head story, Tinubu's meeting with lawmakers fails to resolve zoning crisis. The rider beneath says President called for zoning, failed to name anointed aspirants. Opposition parties claim majority, plots to use number against APC candidates. Other story on the Punch, President signs bill on George's retirement age. Reps step down 543 billion naira judgment debt payment. And on subsidy, NNPCL failed to remit over 8 trillion naira, says RMFAC. Ogun community residents stranded as flood overruns Link Road. 5G raised telecoms GDP contribution on 2.51 trillion naira. Stories credited to the NCC. And that's all on Punch. Our next paper for review is Friday, the 9th of June, 2023. And our first paper for review is Daily Sun. OBLP seek court's order to question commission on credibility of ICT devices. Other story on the Daily Sun. Makinde, Wike, Otom, Ikbazu, Ugwuanyi meet Tinubu, seek equity, fairness, and justice. Panic in Anambra Assembly as armed men try to abduct member-elect. El-Rufai under fire over viral video. Tears as ex-Senator Annie Okonkwo dies at 63. And that's all on Daily Sun. Our next paper for review is Saturday, the 10th of June 2023. And our first paper for review is The Tribune. Describing story, Tinubu probes Emefiele, places him on suspension. Other story on The Tribune, Southwest PDP reps-elect demand House Minority Leader post. Vigilante shoots man dead for speaking to his girlfriend. El-Rufai's claim of Muslim domination is toxic and frightening. And that story is credited to Khan. Former governors, 34 others float private varsities. And on Senate presidency tussle, vote myself for $5,000 and $10,000. And that's all on The Tribune. Moving over to The Nation for Saturday, the 10th of June 2023. The head story, why Tinubu suspend Emefiele as CBN governor. The writer beneath says, Apex Bank chief faces DSS probe over alleged money laundering, terror, financing, and others. Folashodun Shonubi to act as central bank helmsman. Other story on The Nation, Nigeria no more Father Christmas to other countries, says Tinubu. In a presidential election, well conducted, articles witness tell tribunal. And on 10th NAS, tell aspirants to manage their ambitions, Tinubu urges traditional rulers. And that's all on The Nation newspaper. Our next paper for review is Sunday, the 11th of June, 2023. And the first paper for review is The Punch. Head story on The Punch, DSS seeks order to extend Emefiele's detention, lines up interrogations. The writer beneath says, suspended CBN governor arrested in Lagos, Circuit Police to squeeze aides, top directors. Naira loses 76% value under detained Apex Bank bus. Other stories on The Punch, aides, workers arrested for carting away National Assembly property. And National Assembly leadership, deal that fetched Akpabio Tinubu's endorsement. Lagos alone can't solve traffic, Agbero menace. And that story is credited to the ex-commissioner of Motor Shop. Babies dumped to die find hope in care homes. And that's all on The Punch newspaper. Our next paper for review is The Vanguard newspaper. Enugu elders back Mba as Southeast loses over 5 trillion naira. And that's the story on the sit-at-home ban. Wase adamant, PDP, Labour Party, others surrender. Storm over Emefiele, LP, Agbakoba, lawyers, others fault arrest, detention. And that's all on the Sunday Vanguard for 11th June 2023. That's all on paper review for the week. Many thanks for watching. Please do not forget to subscribe, like, share, and also drop your comment on the comment section. Novel TV Live. I am Lily Kevin.